and I decided to sit down today and talk to you guys about PCOS. This video is a collaborative effort with Caitlin from Beans and Monkeys, and you should definitely check her channel out if you haven't already. You can click right up there and get a good look at it. Caitlin's awesome. She's a beautiful mother of a boy and a girl, and she dealt with PCOS just like we did.
Yeah, as you guys know, and if you follow our story, you know that I have PCOS, and it was and is, you know, a major factor on why it took so long for us to get pregnant, and, you know, and also why our pregnancy wasn't easy in the beginning. PCOS has given us lots of anxiety from the beginning of our pregnancy because we had a few scares and our pregnancy in the beginning wasn't easy. Now we are much more centered and happy and feeling okay with the whole pregnancy journey.
Yeah.
But it took us a while to be where we are today.
About 20 weeks.
You know, it took us a while to feel confident and to feel, you know, and to feel like we're carrying a healthy, happy baby.
Yeah.
Not for no reason really, but since I have PCOS, I'm automatically high risk for so many issues. I mean, women with PCOS, they have a higher risk of miscarriage, they have a higher risk for gestational diabetes and preeclampsia, and so many issues that can be so hard during pregnancy. And we had to learn how to cope with these feelings because our choices were, we had two choices in this situation. Either we would spend our entire pregnancy without enjoying any of it, just feeling afraid and anxious, or we would say, hey, PCOS, you don't really dominate us and we have the power over you.
You don't own me, PCOS.
Exactly. And this is exactly what we chose. We chose the second option because we are not the kind of people who, you know, will allow bad negative thoughts to overcome us. We have them like anybody else.
Yeah, of course.
But we choose to fight them. And this is what we did.
Yeah. We choose to focus always on the positive.
On the positive,
100% of the time. It's just sort of in our nature, I think, as a couple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we had to learn how to cope with these feelings since becoming pregnant because we became experts on our fertility journey. So we were like very good at focusing on the positive in our infertility journey, even though we had downs as well. But we had, you know, we were able to get ourselves from the bottom and bring ourselves up again. And then once we became pregnant, we had to learn it all over again. I think we've come up with a few tricks and tips of how we went about trying to overcome our anxieties, and we are here to tell you guys. The very first one was to always focus on the positive results that we're getting throughout our pregnancy. So as you guys know, I had vaginal bleeding in the beginning, and that was
really
hard.
Frightening for us, really hard. Scariest moment
scary.
of our first trimester.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then every single ultrasound that we had, we kept hearing our baby's heartbeat, and those were just incredible moments. Even though before the ultrasound we were quite scared, you know, and afraid of what we were going to see, every single positive result that we had in the ultrasound were motives for us to really celebrate. And we held on to that feeling. Every time we saw our baby measuring, you know, fine, every time we saw her heartbeat, you know, in a very good point and high and strong, we were celebrating like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, because it all starts to add up after a while.
Yeah.
You know, all the news we were getting from our ultrasound doctor and from our infertility doctor still, it was all positive news.
Yeah.
And you can just, you know, start to surround yourself with all of this positivity.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you have, you know, if you see that the glass is half full, obviously you don't have room for the negative thoughts. Like you start filling it up even more with positive thoughts, and that negative feelings are obviously running out of room. So this is exactly what we did. Not that this ended completely our negative thoughts, but it helped a lot.
Yeah.
So we really lived in the present moment, and we're celebrating every little milestone.
Every little victory.
Yeah, every little victory, every little milestones that we're accomplishing with our pregnancy. We really held on to it and lived in that moment like there's no tomorrow. The second thing that we did was not over research, and by that what I mean is that obviously we're informed about everything that was happening through our pregnancy, but if I was feeling if I had an ache on a certain side of my body, or if I didn't feel so good for some reason, instead of, you know, self-diagnosing, I reach out to our medical professionals. And this is, I think, such a great thing that we decided to do.
I think we learned a long time ago that Google is your friend and your enemy. You know, it's a double-edged sword. And and when you're in our situation, and perhaps it's the same for a lot of you, you're working with a medical professional or a team of professionals. So you're paying someone, possibly out of pocket, to be your infertility specialist.
They're working for you.
They are working for you, and you need to take full advantage of them. Our situation, we were really fortunate here. We had a nurse who was receptive to texting, and we texted that poor lady all the time.
Weekends, late nights.
Late at nights. She's just trying to eat pizza and watch a movie, and we're like, hey. But it's, you know, you have to take advantage of whatever tools are available to you, and you know, be careful about reading too much between the lines when you're feeling these little things, because your body, a woman's body, it just changes so much during pregnancy. We learned that immediately, and you know, Google's not always the right place to find the answers. So work with your team of professionals. It makes a huge difference.
Absolutely, take advantage of them, and don't forget ever that they're working for you.
Absolutely.
You are the patient, and you have priority. No matter how much you feel like you're going to, you know, bother them, don't think like that. Think that you know, it's your body, this is your story, and this is the priority for you and your husband, and your baby comes first.
So bother away.
Bother away. And then another thing is obviously keeping a healthy pregnancy. I think this is key for a woman with PCOS. It's been key for me, and what I've been doing to help with keeping a healthy pregnancy is exercising. Obviously, I did have authorization from my OB first, because now we're seeing an OB, and you know, my first trimester I had a lot of bed rest, but the moment that she was like, yes, you're good to go, because you know, all my exams checked okay, you know, I've been upping my walking. I haven't been doing any running or any really heavy exercise.
It's all been really low impact.
Very low
walking,
impact.
A lot of pool work also.
Pool workout. So I've been walking pretty much 5 days a week. I try at least. And doing like a half an hour, you know, mile and a half or whatever, you know, quick walk. Very low impact, very calming, very stress-free. And also doing some pool work. Obviously, we're lucky here in Brazil that the climate is really great for pool exercises, and we have a pool in the building that we live in, so I just look up on YouTube, you know, a few exercises, and I follow, and Ryan helps me.
I'm like, now do this.
He's like my instructor outside of the pool, and I'm like,
whoa. But you know, if you have a YMCA, or if you have a gym at your disposal,
you are able to go,
and you live in a climate where it's wintry right now, take advantage. You know, I think it's low impact, and it's helped you a lot just to feel like your body is in motion. None of it has been stressful. You're not breaking a sweat through any of this, but it's helped you feel healthy, and again, on top of this PCOS scheme.
And also, exercising, especially if you have PCOS, is key for you to keep a healthy pregnancy and avoid so many problems that you could potentially have, that you are more high risk than, let's say, a woman who doesn't have PCOS. So it's something that I want to keep up, you know, on my pregnancy, throughout my pregnancy. Also diet, of course. I go back and forth between like eating healthy and eating like, and kind of, you know, giving in to my cravings.
We've talked a little bit too much about burgers and milkshakes in these vlogs, but that's only a part of it, and it's been a small part of it, because primarily the focus has been on eating healthy and eating like nutritional foods.
No dieting whatsoever, and this is what my OB told me. You shouldn't diet, but as a pregnant woman, you know, you should try to consume your calories from healthy sources. So this is what we're trying to do. Lots of, you know, green juices, green smoothies, lots of fruits, which is thankfully what I've been craving at the moment. I'm loving some fruit, and you know, and try to supplement your diet with really healthy foods, because at least those calories are helping your baby. And this is what I keep thinking to myself, you know, this is good for my baby. This is what I'm doing. So,
and as a woman with PCOS, this is just doubly important also.
So important to, again, keep your pregnancy as healthy as you can possibly keep it.
So guys, these are some of the tips and the tricks that we've learned here through, you know, almost half of a pregnancy, about how to combat PCOS, how to combat the emotions and the anxiety that run with you with PCOS, and you know, how to keep ourselves focused on the positive, focused on the good and really stay on top of it and stay healthy through a pregnancy.
Yeah, and stay hopeful as well,
Yeah.
because we also, look forward now. At this point of our pregnancy, we're more apt to look forward to when she's here than, focus on the fear, right?
Absolutely.
So we are thinking about the nursery and all this like cool things to think
Yeah.
about. And this is really cool. This all comes with, changing your mindset.
Yeah, and it's the thought that we should leave you guys with
Yeah.
also, that we're hopeful people. I know the topic of the video is, hey, dealing with PCOS, which is a serious matter and it definitely deserves serious conversation, but we feel so much hope, and it's the hope that has brought us this far, and it's what will take us across the finish line ultimately.
Absolutely. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to us and to Caitlin at Beans and Monkeys.
Yeah.
Again, we're gonna leave her channel down below, and go watch her video, because
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to watching her video as well, because she already has 2 kids and she already went through pregnancy. We're in the middle of a pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I want to know how she dealt with her PCOS throughout her entire pregnancy and now having kids as well. I'm sure a lot of you would love to know that as well. And leave us a comment down below with, tips and tricks that you have used. If you have PCOS and you went through a pregnancy, or if you are in the middle of a pregnancy, what has helped you to cope with your anxiety and, to cope with any negative feelings that you felt, and were you able to overcome them?
We definitely want to hear it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye!
Bye.
There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up.